Welcome to Rewind Whenever. I'm Wendy.
I'm Kelly.
We are talking about Real Housewives of New York, Season 15, Episode 11, Resorting to Madness. So we start out, they're going to Puerto Rico. So we see them in the airport at JFK. How were their attire? How was their attire getting onto the airplane?
I feel like I had it written down. I don't.
It was in the very beginning, too.
I know. The first thing I have is that nobody wanted to share a room with Sai. And then Brynn assigned Rebecca to share with Sai.
Yes, that is true. So before that happens, they land in Puerto Rico and it's 90 degrees out and 74% humidity.
Yeah,
It's the humidity that's really
it's the
tough.
humidity for sure.
But Ubah gets off that plane and she loves that weather. Like, so funny. Everyone else is like, oh my gosh, it's so hot. And Ubah's like, I love this weather. I'm not like hot and sticky. I'm not happy. And I'm like,
yeah.
So we find out that there's 6 bedrooms and Jenna and Raquel are going to share a bedroom. And then Sai offers to share a room, but no one else, like you said, wants to share with her.
It's ridiculous.
It's so ridiculous. So Brynn says, I will take the shit room. And then Rebecca, why don't you share with Sai? And then Jessel, Erin, and Ubah can have the nice rooms. It was bullshit.
It was bullshit. Who the F are you, Brynn?
And even Erin said, like, Rebecca, you know, if you don't want to do that, speak up. But she didn't.
Yeah, but I didn't like that Erin said that Rebecca was scared of Brynn. I don't think she's scared of Brynn.
No, she's definitely not scared of Brynn. I think
she's trying to figure it all out.
Yep, I think she was just waiting for the right time.
Mm-hmm.
Then they arrive at the house and they're greeted by the bartender with rum punch and the house manager is there. The ladies get inside the house and they just all go running like lunatics. And Ubah goes into the kitchen, gets herself something to eat, sitting in the backyard relaxing. She's like, I'm not going to run around. You know, I already said that, you know.
She already knows she's getting a nice room with a bathroom.
Right. So when Brynn gets to the room that she thinks is the not nice room, she's like, oh, okay, this will be my room. And then she goes and finds actually the room that is the shittiest room. And she's like, oh, no, that's not good. Ubah can have that room. Even though you already
said you take the shittiest room.
Right. And literally, it does look like a utility closet.
It really does. They really shouldn't consider that a room. Not for a guest.
No.
Maybe somebody who's working there, but not for a guest. That's not a guest room.
Yeah. So even Sai goes and looks at it. I mean, Ubah goes and looks. She's too big for that room.
She's way too big for that room. Tall.
Yes, tall.
Otherwise.
Exactly. Yeah. Tall. Exactly. And then Rebecca says to Erin, I don't really want to share a room. So Erin says, I said that to you in the car. And she's like, well, I didn't, she didn't want to do it then.
Right.
So Ubah goes out to the bartender and asks, like, how do I get to the hotel from here? Like, walking.
She's going to leave.
Yep. And then she says, it's okay. I have more money than Brynn. I'll just get my own room in a hotel.
Good for her.
Yeah. I would not stay in that room either.
I wouldn't stay in that room. And I'm not that girl. I'm not that picky. I wouldn't have wanted to stay in that room.
No.
Certainly not if I had Ubah's money.
No, exactly. And when Brynn said she was going to take the shittiest room and then reneged on it.
Yep.
And Jenna understands because, she's the girl who flew business because she didn't want to fly coach. So she gets it. She goes outside. Ubah goes outside. She's talking to the producer. She's like, I'm not staying in that tiny room. Meanwhile, they cut to Brynn, who's unpacking her stuff and just like making herself at home in a room that she shouldn't be staying in. It should be Ubah's room.
Mm-hmm.
But now Erin agrees to share the room with Rebecca. So Sai is going to take the tiny room, which was very nice.
It's a nice room.
Right. It was very nice of Sai to say, I'll take this room.
It was. I think that, again, we say it every week. We're just seeing such a nicer, softer side of Sai.
Yes. So then, Erin says that she wants Ubah to feel supported, and Ubah thanks her. And then we see that Brynn comes out and she says, what's the sharing problem? Like after everything has been already worked out because she made it this mess. Rebecca, why don't you want to share? And she said, like I shared last time. with Jessel. And I have 4 kids. Like, I don't get alone time.
Wait, before we get to that, I just
Huh?
want to bring something up. When Brynn first walked into the room with Jenna and Raquel, she gets like down to her bathing suit, right? Like she starts basically taking her clothes off.
Huh?
Have you ever heard of queer baiting?
No.
Basically what Brynn's doing, like pretending to flirt with lesbians, pretending to be into them just to get the attention. And a lot of the LGBTQ plus community don't like it. And she needs to stop doing it. Yep. I saw that a lot on social media. I mean, we've been saying it.
Yes.
I didn't know there was an actual term for it. There is, and she's doing it. And they don't like it.
No, listen, it's immature.
It's immature, and it's almost making a mockery of their sexuality. You're not into women, Brynn. You're just not. So stop pretending to be to get some kind of attention that you're craving. Do something else. Because you're not into women and you're making a mockery of their sexuality.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Listen, I have thought it, but again, I didn't know that it was an actual thing, and people in that community are saying it.
Yeah. She's got to watch herself. She really does. So Rebecca says, I have 4 kids. I really wanted, I shared last time with Jessel. I really wanted a room by myself. Then Brynn says it has nothing to do with kids. We're all busy. And then Rebecca said, well, when you have kids of your own, you'll understand. And
I don't love what she said, but one, Brynn had it coming because she's been coming for Raquel all season.
Rebecca,
thank you.
Yeah.
And 2, she's right. Rebecca's right. When you have 4 kids jumping in your bed, like to be able to sleep and just sleep in and not have to worry about that is huge. It has nothing to do with being busy. Now, Brynn does have a dog, so that's similar, very similar.
No, you cannot compare a puppy
to because
4 children.
When the dog's got to go out, the dog's hopping on your bed, waking you up to go out. I mean, that's annoying. That's annoying with a new puppy. It's not the same. I'm just saying it's somewhat similar. I don't love what Rebecca said, but I don't blame her for saying it. And I think Brynn had it coming to her.
Brynn definitely had it coming to her. In her confessional, she said, I'm seeing red now because the worst thing anyone could have said to me is because you don't have kids, or you'll understand when you have kids. And then she goes on to say, Rebecca, we don't need you coming into the Puerto Rican villa swinging your giant fallopian tubes around in our face. I was like, whoa, reminding us that you have so many children. And then she calls her bitchy Becky. Come on, Brynn.
It's not something Brynn wouldn't say. Brynn would say something like that. She would.
And she did.
But I'm saying what Rebecca said to her. Like, if Brynn knew her saying something would cut someone deep, she would do it.
Yeah.
So.
And I think Rebecca meant to cut her when she said it.
Well, yeah, she basically admitted at the end of the episode.
Yeah. And then we see Jessel looking for her bag like a lunatic, and I felt so bad for her. And they're
I would freak out.
I would too.
Freak out.
I would too. Especially, why the heck did she have to do that?
And put it on the floor in the bathroom. Like, I'm a little bit of a germaphobe. I would have reacted the same way Jessel did.
Jessel was so calm about it, like
she
in
really
person.
Was.
Like, again, she's always bullying Jessel. She makes fun of her clothes. She's always bullying Jessel.
She thinks she's funny, but she's not. Her and Erin, they think they're funny. They're really not.
No, they're really not. They're really not. Then Erin goes to talk to Ubah because she said she wants to put everything behind her. And she feels like the fact that she gave up her room for Ubah will go a long way. And Ubah says she was hurt. And then Erin was telling the girls that she thinks Ubah's coming for her. They apologize and they agree to move forward. And then Jessel's still freaking out about her suitcase. No one's acknowledging her. Then finally she walks into the room with them and she's like, just whoever has my suitcase, I need it now. And then Brynn takes her to it.
Right.
So they're still sitting down eating and no one is talking. It's very awkward. Erin says she's going to go get changed. And Brynn says she can change her attitude also to Erin. Again, not called for. Like, Erin's attitude was fine.
She's kind of the only one you're good with right now, so you might want to chill.
So then Erin says, I'm going to push you in the pool. And Brynn says, you can. I can't get my hair wet. So they both leave the room. And then the ladies are asking them, Ubah, about her conversation.
Well, Brynn didn't leave the room.
Right. Not yet. She didn't. They're asking about the conversation that Ubah had with Erin. And she's explaining the conversation. And then Brynn gets up and goes into Erin's room and said, Ubah's out there talking shit about you, which is not what was happening. She was just explaining what the conversation was.
And literally exactly what she said to Erin to her face is what she said to the ladies. Like, I think that you gaslight. I think that's what you do.
Right. Right.
She's entitled to her own opinion. And Erin, if it bothers Erin, Erin can do what she wants now to prove Ubah wrong, or she could not give an F and continue with her life.
Right. But they had squashed it at that point. Like, they were going to move forward.
But Ubah said, I still think you're a gaslighter.
Right. Right.
And pretty much that's all she said. And then Brynn went and said she's talking shit about you.
Right.
She's an asshole, Brynn. She really is.
She really is. So then Erin goes back to the table and sits down and said, I as soon as I walk out of the room, I hear you guys start, talking about me. And then Brynn sits down also. And Erin said, you just told me they were talking shit about me. And she said, oh, no, I didn't. I didn't say they were talking shit.
And then they roll tape.
That's exactly what she said. Those were her exact words.
And they roll the tape and you see what she said.
Right. Erin said, well, what did I do? Rebecca said she is kind of defending you, but she's putting words in Ubah's mouth. And I don't think Rebecca realized what Brynn had told her, because Brynn wasn't defending her.
No, right. No, right.
So Ubah says, I can't change how I feel. I don't think I'm the only one who feels like, meaning the gaslighting. And Sai says, well, I think you gaslight everyone. You do bizarre things. And I'm just like, oh, no, is this now?
Yeah, here we go.
Going to blow up? And Erin says, well, how do I gaslight her, meaning Rebecca? And Sai said, well, in Central Park, the way you were talking to Rebecca. And then Erin's like, that's it, I'm done. She gets up and she walks out. And I was like, is this what this whole trip is going to be like? But
I was right, though. She said Brynn's feeding her in a line. And she was.
Yes.
And Erin's falling for it.
Yeah. And much to my surprise, Ubah got up and went after her.
Yeah. That was good.
Absolutely. She's like, listen, you know what? You bitches didn't switch rooms for me. I'm going after her.
Yeah.
And she did. Yeah. And I'm glad that she did, because that whole thing was ridiculous.
Yeah, it really was. And it was all Brynn's fault.
It was totally Brynn's fault. It was totally her fault.
It's almost like it's like middle school where like she doesn't want Erin to be friends with anybody else. She wants Erin to only be her friend.
The problem is the woman is 39 years old.
I know.
I mean, it's just ridiculous the way she's acting.
I know people who still act like that and they're in their 50s.
Oh, gosh. It's crazy. It's just craziness.
It is crazy. Like, how insecure are you? That's what it comes down to. It comes down to insecurity.
Yeah, but still.
I totally agree. I can't.
So Ubah and Erin are good now. They all go out in the backyard to get in the pool, and they kind of are split up in the pool a little bit. Brynn is yelling to the guys on the golf course. Jessel says those guys are probably old, like 54. Jenna says, I'm 56, by the way. I'm just like, poor Jessel. So the breakup of the pool is Raquel, Sai, Ubah, and Brynn are all in one section of the pool. And Brynn says, oh, look, all the black girls are in the pool in Puerto Rico together. Okay, but the other girls were in the pool too. And Brynn's telling the girls about the conversation with Rebecca about the room sharing and what she said. And Raquel thinks that if that came from someone other than Rebecca, Brynn wouldn't have been so hurt by it. Like, it wouldn't have fazed her if somebody else said it. She's like, if I said that to her, She probably wouldn't have, because she does have a problem with Rebecca for whatever reason.
She definitely has a problem with Rebecca, but I do think it would still bother her just because of her journey of becoming a mother. I do. But
Yeah.
yeah, Rebecca was not the one to say it because
Right.
that cut a
Right.
little deeper.
Exactly. So on the other side of the pool, it's Erin, Rebecca, Jessel, and Jenna. And Erin asks Rebecca, like, what she said to Brynn that upset her. And she tells her about, the kids thing. And they're all looking over at Ubah and talking about, Ubah's boobs and how good they are.
They
What great
really
shape.
are, though.
Yeah, she's got an amazing body.
She really, really does.
Yeah. I mean, her genes are phenomenal.
Yes, yes.
She's going to make beautiful babies.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is.
Jessel said, I think you were way too nice to Rebecca. She said it to Rebecca, referring to Brynn. She thought Rebecca was way too nice to Brynn. She thought that she should have, stood up to her. And Rebecca they ask her, like, is there some point that you're going to fight back? And she says, I guess when the time is right, I'll do what I got to do. And we do see that she does do what she has to do.
Right. Right.
Then they all get in the car and they're on their way to dinner. I thought it was cute that Erin thought that Ubah was missing, but she was actually all the way in the back of the car. But at least she's like paying attention, like, we can't leave without her,
Yes, yes, that was nice.
Then they start complaining that they're going to a Mediterranean restaurant for dinner when they're in Puerto Rico. Once again, these bitches cannot be happy.
They really can't. I have to be honest with you. I'm extremely tired of watching housewives argue over their rooms on vacation. Probably because I don't vacation that often.
Yeah, really. And be happy to have any room.
But honestly, for the love of God, production, start booking places that have individual rooms for each person with their own fucking bathroom with a bathtub. And if wherever locale you're going to doesn't have that, find a new locale, because I can't anymore. It's so annoying.
It is annoying. I agree.
I mean, I see their point. They want to eat authentic Puerto Rican food, but you're not only there for one day. I'm sure you're going to get that while you're there, for crying out loud.
Exactly.
Yeah, the bitches be tripping, as our friend Glenn would say.
So then they get seated at the restaurant, and Rebecca's like, we need to order soon. My blood sugar's getting low.
I'm with her.
Yeah, and Brynn makes some comment like under her breath about that.
She, in her confessional, she says Rebecca needs a bottle or something like that.
Yeah,
She's
that's
so,
what she,
I mean,
so stupid.
So stupid.
They asked Jenna if she was getting emotional about selling her clothes. And, she said, yeah. They also asked if the money was actually going towards her teeth. I mean, I think that it is, based on what she said, right?
I think it is too, yeah.
Yeah, she said she spent so many years, like, spending so much money working on her teeth. And,
And she's right. Insurance doesn't cover the expensive stuff. And that stuff is so expensive.
Right. And
So,
it's not like it's because she has a problem. It's not like you get implants and you're done.
right.
I think this is something that she has to keep doing over and over and over again because of the way her mouth is, right?
Right. Yeah.
It's not like you do it once and you're done.
Right.
And then Brynn says, I thought, well, you just bought that Bentley. And she's like, no, I didn't buy the Bentley. They just lent it to me. It wasn't even like a collab. Like, they just lent it to me.
Something, huh?
That is something.
I was surprised she said it.
Yeah. I mean, I think, who was really surprised is Jessel. Like, Jessel in her confessional, she's like, maybe those diamonds are CZ's too.
Yes.
I'm like,
don't sleep on CZ's, all right, Jessel?
Yeah, I agree. Don't sleep on CZ's. But just because she admitted it wasn't her Bentley doesn't mean that her diamonds aren't real. Like,
exactly. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Raquel's talking about her mom's coming for breakfast, and she hasn't seen her mom in 6 years.
How sad this woman is in her 50s and doesn't know if she can act like herself in front of her own mother.
That's sad.
That's really, really sad.
It is sad. I think it's interesting that her mom is bringing her new boyfriend, too.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she tells Brynn that he's a little too old for her. And she said, well, if he's not on a ventilator, that's fine with me.
Keep it classy, Brynn. Keep
Yep.
it classy.
Yeah.
What'd she say about Russian billionaires calling her?
Oh my gosh. When did that happen?
I don't know if I'd be like flexing on that.
Okay, yeah, so that happened. So Sai says she can't wait to go back to her little room. She said it's actually kind of cozy. Erin says, I ended up sharing a room. Brynn says, I just don't like sharing. Nobody likes to share. Brynn says, apparently I don't understand it yet because I don't have kids yet. So I don't understand. So Erin says, no, I'll tell you what she meant. What she meant is when you have kids and they come in your bed at night, it's not like a full night's sleep. Brynn says, I know, but it's like I have puppies. I have Russian billionaires calling me. I know what it's like, Brynn says. I don't need to have children to understand difficulties. Come on, Brynn. Once again, you are putting yourself in a position that you have Russian billionaires calling you. So what, are they paying for you in the middle of the night, waking you up?
Well, exactly. Why would you do that?
Right.
Why would you
right.
put it out there that Russian billionaires are calling you in the middle of the night? Just like you said, is that like some kind of proposition?
Right.
But then you get mad at Jeff Lewis for asking if you have a sugar daddy.
Right.
She's like a walking contradiction. And I'm not trying to minimize what she said last week about her essay. I'm not trying to minimize that at all.
No.
Other than that, everything else is like a big, giant contradiction.
No, I agree. I 100% agree. Then Rebecca says we can agree to disagree. Brynn says you can just agree that it's shitty what you said, Rebecca. I think you've been saying really shitty stuff to me since we met. And Brynn says, I don't need you to teach me anything. I'm the teacher and you're the student.
Yeah, what did that mean?
I have no idea. And
Yeah.
then Rebecca says, you seem to thrive off being a bully. And it's true. She does. She really does bully her around. And she does it to Jessel, too.
Yeah. And listen, the bottom line is you don't know what it's like to have kids until you have kids. You just don't. You don't know what it's like to have to put your entire self on hold. You don't know what it's like to have to put other people before yourself. And that's what it is.
I know. I've been reading online. I haven't looked into it, but apparently she's been lying about a lot of stuff and it's all coming out.
Brynn?
Yeah. So I don't remember. In the first season, did she say that? Yeah, she did. She said that she had eggs frozen, right?
Yeah.
But she actually didn't. Because beginning of this season, she said she went to London and did it. She just did it.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't realize she just did it. I thought when she said it in the first season, they were already in London.
No, they were not. They were not. And that's one of the lies that she's being called out on.
Wow.
And there's other things, like she just like blatantly lies about stuff. And she's like, she doesn't even own up to it. Like she doesn't even admit to it, which is bizarre.
Yeah. Nobody likes being called out on their shit.
No, I don't know. I don't know where this is going to go.
I don't either, but apparently it blows up between her and Ubah, huh?
And it must be on this trip, right?
Yeah, I would imagine. Because what did you say? We're on what episode are we on?
13. Did I say 13?
I think Salt Lake City was 13, wasn't it?
No, we're on 11. We're on 11. So
it's so
11.
funny. I listened to Teddy and Tamra on 2T's recap Salt Lake City.
Mm-hmm.
And it's every week. And I swear, people, we don't listen. I don't listen until after we tape.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost identical, their conversations to ours. Like
really?
They're bringing up the same things we're bringing up. Yeah.
That's so
I was listening
funny.
to it yesterday on my way to the salon and I'm like, oh my God, I forget the specifics. But the one thing I'm like, oh my God, that's exactly what we said. Like, that's exactly what we were questioning.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Lights, lawsuits, and the law. Welcome to Legally Vegas, the podcast that breaks down the stories shaping Las Vegas.
From the big Vegas stories to legal tips everyone should know, Legally Vegas is your backstage pass to navigating the law in Sin City.
Hosted by your trial attorneys at Bighorn Law, me, Emily Cunningham,
and me, Simone Gansey.
Find Legally Vegas wherever you get your podcasts.
Legally Vegas.
Because what happens in Vegas doesn't always stay in Vegas.
That part's me. But yeah, that was good.
No.
That's funny because I told you I barely listen to them at all anymore because I just am so annoyed with Tamara and even Teddy. I'm annoyed with Teddy too.
I know, me too, but I still do like listening.
You don't have to apologize.
Yeah,
Like you
I
know,
still like their recaps. I really do.
it's okay.
Yeah, I don't. I think she's been better about this, Tamara. Like before, when they interview people, like when they have people on, I feel like Tamara's like a big giant name dropper. Like if anybody, like if somebody from the Bravo world is on and they mention like somebody and she's like, oh yeah, I know them. Yeah, I was with them. Yes, I was just talking to them. It's like, all right, relax.
Yeah, calm down. Just calm down.
Just chill. But I do like their recaps.
So you don't have anything else for New York, do you?
No, I don't have anything else for New York. And I don't, wow. I
What?
don't think we've talked about this, but James Kennedy. Wait, did we talk about it?
I don't think we did.
That's upsetting.
Oh, maybe we talked about it a little bit.
I think we did.
Yeah, but I think since we talked about it, what's her name? Allie came out with a statement.
She made a statement. So obviously it was about her. It was with her.
Well, yes. And because the report came out, the police report came out, and it said that she said that he picked her up and threw her. Yeah. And according to people at the party, because it was after Kathy Hilton's party, he was causing a commotion there too. I guess because he was intoxicated or whatever set him off.
Because he was drinking.
Mm-hmm.
Right. We did talk about it because you said you're curious to see what Lala says.
I am curious to see what Lala says.
I am happy. I mean, I don't know if we're going to watch it. Are we going to watch the reboot of Vanderpump?
I don't know.
I feel like I might be too old to watch it.
I feel the same. I mean, maybe we wait and see. I don't know.
But I am happy that Peter's going to be on it. I'm sure in as big of a role as he was in the last one, which isn't big at all. But I always liked Peter.
He totally got screwed.
He definitely got screwed. They wanted him to film the last season without being paid.
That's ridiculous.
I mean, what the F? Like, all the money you're making?
I know. It's ridiculous.
And shame on Lisa Vanderpump for even allowing that to be a thing.
She's the executive producer.
Right. So, come on, Lisa.
She picks and chooses who she likes.
Yeah. You sent the video to me of Dr. Terry Dubrow, talking about Brandi Glanville. So
yes, let's talk about that. So Brandi responded.
Good.
She responded. She didn't take any offense to it. She's always had a good relationship with Dr. Dubrow, and they've spoke, and they are going to continue to talk, and he's going to see if he can help her. And one of the things she did say is that she's going to talk about it on her podcast too. So I'm going to find her podcast and start listening to her. She had all the fillers removed from her face, and she's been seeing all the top doctors at Cedars-Sinai. But, that video was heartbreaking. It really was. Like, just watching her online and her face. I'm glad that TMZ asked Terry Dubrow. Otherwise, that probably would have never happened.
No, I totally agree. I mean,
right?
Yeah. And I think Terry's a good guy, and Paul Nassif is a good guy, and hopefully they'll really help her.
Yeah.
I mean, she kind of had a thing with Nassif's ex. What's her name?
Adrienne Maloof.
Adrienne Maloof, yeah. Because remember, I guess they used a surrogate, and Brandi said it on camera, but it never aired. Yeah.
Why does she do stupid shit like that? Why do people do stupid shit?
Because I think Lisa Vanderpump told her to do it.
I'm sure that's probably it.
I think Lisa Vanderpump told her to do it because that's when Lisa was beefing with Adrienne. Before Adrienne. And I mean, I do believe that that's why Adrienne left the show. But they never aired it. It came out like after what it was.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, just like Lisa told Brandi to bring the magazines on that vacation that alluded to Maurizio cheating on Kyle. And that's when Lisa and Kyle were good.
Yeah.
She was a puppet master, Lisa. I really, truly believe that.
Yeah, just
I
like
her. I thought she made good TV, but I think that's what she was doing.
She definitely was. I mean, because she was involved in the Lisa Rinna Munchausen's against Foster.
Yep.
Yolanda Foster.
Yep.
She was behind the whole puppy gate with Teddy and Dorit. Like, she was behind all that. I mean, she was reporting it to the tabloids.
Yep. Yeah.
So yeah, And when she got called out on it, she's like, okay, I can't, I'm
And
not
just
going to
didn't
come
show
back.
up.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'm just
And
not
just
going to
didn't
come
show up
back.
to the reunion.
I'm not going to own my shit.
Yep. Yep.
Crazy.
I don't miss her. I don't miss Lisa Vanderpump at all. I know a lot of people do.
I don't miss her either.
Once you got wise to that kind of behavior, it's like,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could go way back and say she's the reason that Camille said to Taylor, we don't talk about the fact that Russell hits you. Because I think Lisa was behind that too. Season 2.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you said Camille's coming back next week?
Yeah, I mean, hopefully it's just for one episode because I can't really stomach her. I really can't. She just comes in and it's like nonsense. It's for nonsense.
Yeah.
I mean, does she want to be back on the show?
I think she always wants something, right? What does she
Yeah.
do? Like, what does she do?
I mean, she's got Kelsey Grammer money. She don't have to do anything.
Mm.
But if she wanted to be back on the show, I'm curious as to why they wouldn't just bring her back on the show, at least as a friend of. Maybe because she's not friends with anybody. She just pops up at all these, she pops up at these dinners. Remember the dinner with her and Denise, where Denise's jacket was on upside?
Yes.
That was so classic.
That was hysterical.
Oh my God.
That was hysterical.
That was good.
I did see an update too from Kathy Hilton about Kim, that Kim is doing well and that they will all be spending Christmas together.
That's good. I'm glad to hear that.
Yes, I'm glad to hear that too. And Kyle wasn't sure if she was going to be cooking dinner or not for Christmas Day, or if Paris wants to have it at her house. But everyone likes the way Kyle cooks dinner. So they weren't sure exactly what was going to happen, but they're going to be together, all of them. And I was happy to hear that.
It's impressive that it sounds like Kyle actually does the cooking. And I would imagine that there's a large number of people at that event.
Oh, I would imagine so too.
So it's impressive if she really is cooking for all those people, because that's a lot. I max out at, if I like Easter, well, no, I still order some food too. And that's like 20, 25 people.
Well, I think she likes doing it. I think she enjoys doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she said they like her food. So
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I mean. It sounds like she actually does the cooking.
yeah. Yeah. Good for her.
Yeah. So
All
the
right.
shows are going to be on hiatus after this. So this week we'll recap at some point. But we kind of have 2 weeks to play around with it because the shows aren't going to be on because it's Christmas Eve and Christmas Day that they would air.
Right. And then New Year's Eve and New Year's Day.
Right. I know Beverly Hills is definitely not on. No, wait. What's on Wednesday? Salt Lake City. Because it's New Year's Day, Christmas Day. I would imagine New York and Beverly Hills aren't on.
Yeah, we'll have to
We'll check the schedule.
we'll check the schedule and we'll let you know. Our schedule may be a little wonky because of the holidays too and
Yeah.
all the crazy stuff we have to do. But we're going to be doing some other stuff. So just
Yeah,
kind of stay tuned.
Yeah, we do have other non-Bravo things planned coming up,
Yes.
which is music to Lori's ears.
We have an interview coming up too in January too. So stay
Yes.
tuned.
Yes.
Stay tuned. All right. Until next time. Bye.
Bye.